Everybody getting ready for the solar eclipse, right? But you know the dangerous thing about that is having this many people in one spot at one time. You got all these people coming to Texas. You got all these people coming to Arkansas. And I pray that everybody makes it back safe and sound. But you got to be careful with this many people in one spot. That's not always good. So I don't know where y'all gonna be. I know where I'm gonna be in the crib. That's where I'm gonna be. So I hope everybody that's going to view this or doing whatever they're doing, I hope y'all make it back safe and sound and everybody's in one piece. I don't mean to beat y'all head over and over again with the past, because that's not what I'm trying to do. Because we've healed and we move forward. But I think with a lot of us, we feel like we got so caught up in being understanding and moving forward that we have believed that we have accepted too much disrespect. And that's part of the thing that's bothering you also, is that you have accepted a lot of things that you thought maybe you shouldn't have accepted. But a lot of times things ain't what they look like or what they seem. And a lot of people fell in those traps that they wanted you to fall in. That's what happened, and that's why a lot of them are angry right now, because you took your emotions out of it and you moved forward. They didn't expect you to do that because you wear your heart on your sleeve. They'll use any and everybody against you, which will cause you to overreact. When you didn't overreact and you decided to say, hey, I deserve better and that I value me, and you move forward, that destroys the enemy's plan. So remember that moving forward was the best thing ever. And people will always question your connection to God. People always want to say that that person is not really connected to God. That person really doesn't love God. You and God know. So don't ever feel like you have to explain your connection with God with nobody. If God would know firsthand, if you really in tune and you really connect with Him, He would not let people who use His name for their own gain. He would not let them continue to do that. This is 2024. As you can see, a lot of things are coming to pass and a lot of things are coming out, because it's getting closer and closer to that time that the people in power no longer have that power. It's time to turn all of it over. We were last all this time. Now we're about to be first. You know what I'm saying? So I don't worry about nobody questioning your connection with God. You know what your connection with God is, and you know. So that's something I wouldn't worry about. You know what I'm saying? People gonna always try to call you out or try to say certain things about your character, about how you really feel about God. But a lot of times you can see it on people. You can actually see it in them and see it on them to see how close is this person really is to the God, or are they disguising themselves as being with God and behind the scenes they baffle me. Because it's a whole lot of people like that. So people gonna question your alliance with God, and that's fine. But God is your only judge, so it really doesn't matter what anybody say. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind, man. You know your connection with God. You know God loves you. There is no need to overdo it to try to prove to everybody about how you feel about God and what's your connection with Him. And like I said before, I'm not trying to keep hanging on to the past, but if you don't, you can leave the people behind, but take the lessons with you, because If it's not for those lessons, how are you gonna know how to move? If you didn't go through any of the trials and tribulations in your life, how would you be able to adjust to it now? How would you be able to avoid that type of pain again? Because you had to experience it. Experience is the best teacher. So if you don't ever experience the pain of disappointment, then you'll get to the point in your life where you get so far in your life, and then you experience it and you'll never recover for it. You'll never recover from it because you never knew what it felt like to experience this. It's new to you, and it's gonna devastate you, and you'll never find a good connection or find the perfect connection for you because you don't know what it's like to be disappointed. When you experience it and you understand it, then you know how to move. That's the thing about it. Everybody wants to say, leave that stuff alone, move on, move this, move that, move that. That's fine. You move on and you start a new life. But always take the lessons that you learned with you, because that is going to prevent you from having to go through that same thing again. You will always remember. That's what the trauma is. That's what trauma is. Trauma. When does trauma truly leave? You have to you have to be healed within. But will you ever truly forget trauma? No, because that is a major experience in your life. And then so what you doing is you took the trauma and you channeled that into your blessings, and now you know how to move. And the first signs you see that that thing is going to happen to you again, you remove yourself. That's what pain does. Pain benefits you after a while because you experienced it, so you know to prevent yourself from ever experiencing it again. So that is the one thing about it. Um, that people no that people have to understand that a lot of Cordell Jr. Hey, I think we. But that's a lot of. I'm trying to stop my son. But anyway, I think a lot of us have to agree that without experiencing those, without experiencing lack, you would not know how to appreciate having. Without experiencing pain and love, you will not know how to avoid that pain again. You will not know how to act. All of us have been in toxic relationships now, right? So now, guess what? When it comes to starting a communication with somebody and getting on that level again, we know how to date. We know how to gentlemen. We know how to talk to a lady. We know how to do the simple things. Open the door for her. Do things like that. We know how to act in a connection. How would you know how to do anything without experiencing failing at that thing first? You experience failure, so then you understand and you know how to adjust, and now